A lot of you are going on that camping trip and bringing no food or water and then complaining the whole trip that you're dehydrated and hungry. It's your girl T here, back with the Ttime Tuesday video. I know y'all are having a beautiful, blessed day because we're tea timers. It's absolutely what we do. Our affirmation of the day is, I am prepared. We are prepared because we're tea timers, so we're preparing for this thing called the 3D every single day. Why did I say you're on a camping trip? Why do my glasses look sideways? Why did I say we're on a camping trip with no food or water that we haven't brought and then complaining about dehydration and hunger? Because a lot of us are going into our 3D world unprepared and then complaining about things that were from the lack of preparation. What do I mean by this? We know Sally Jane at work pisses us off to no end degree. Every day for the last 55,000 years, she has pissed us off. She had said something that makes us annoyed. How do we prepare for that? We go in telling ourselves that Sally Jane is now the new version of Sally Jane. Sally Jane is always complimenting us. Sally Jane is always gassing us up. Sally Jane is the new version of Sally Jane, where she only says and does loving things to support us. Will it be tumultuous and annoying when you get to work and she says those old things that used to pull you in? Of course, but you're now telling yourself that's Sally Jane showing you love. That's Sally Jane being the best version of herself to you. That's Sally Jane being Sally Jane 2.0 to you. And what will happen? Over a couple days, maybe a week of you sticking in this new know of Sally Jane will show up her best version of you for you. Even if Sally Jane is a bitch for everybody else, Sally Jane will be amazing towards you. This is a small example, which I've experienced myself, where known pests at work have been amazing to me. Why do you think that is? Because I say they're the best version with me. I see a side of them that other people don't see, where they get blocked by the person originally being sour to them, and they stay in that version of the person where they are sour to them. I don't tolerate such behavior in my world, so I do my best to see people as the best versions of those people. Excuse me. This is the same philosophy when it comes to everything in your reality. If you know going on social media and looking up your SP is going to trigger the crap out of you, don't do it. Don't look up their stories. Don't look up their timelines. Don't look up anything to do with them if you know it's going to send you on a spiral. If you're strong enough to go on their socials and whatever you see, say it's working in your favor, it's a bridge of events that's coming back to you to show you how valued you are by SP, then do it. But most of y'all are not in a position yet where you can look at a social media site with your SP's name on it where they're posting something and it not trigger you or it not send you into a spiral, because you're going to assume worst case scenario because your self-concept is that they don't prioritize you. And most of the time it leads spiderwebs back to a world where people don't prioritize you. So then when you are noticing your triggers, maybe don't put yourself into that position to be triggered as best as you can until you feel like it's not going to trigger you anymore. This can be said for anything in our reality. If checking your bank account sends you on a spiral because you are not seeing the numbers yet that you want in your bank account, maybe just look at your phone, don't go to your bank app, and declare that this is the amount of money in your bank account. Or while you're checking your bank account, if it's a neurotic thing you have to do, say to yourself as you're checking your bank account, every day my wealth increases, every day my bank account grows, every day my bank account gets heavier and heavier. The weight of my bank account is breaking my pocket because it's so heavy. If you can simultaneously do something that used to trigger you while saying a new antage and fully investing in it, so be it. But if certain things send you all the way left, maybe avoid them for a few days until you stabilize yourself and make yourself feel comfortable with those things, where you're not buying into that version of your reality or those triggers and sending yourself on a 4-day spiral. It's the same thing with anything in our reality. If certain places that you go to remind you of bad memories that you are remembering with certain people, or your SP and you used to go here and it sends you on a spiral, maybe don't go revisit those places until you stabilize, because it's going to put you down doomsday path. If you have if you're applying for a job, for example, in your reality, and every 5 minutes you're checking your phone to see if you got a response from the employer, whether you got the job or not, maybe don't check whether you got the job or not, and just every time go internal and decide that you have the job, decide that you have the job, decide that you have the job, until you actually receive word in your 3D that you got the job. I think this is tripping people up. It is up here first, out here second. Up here first, out here second. We are giving 3D so much power. We're looking at 3D and saying, 3D says this, so 3D is my boss. 3D is the controller of my world. So because 3D said that, I've got to respond to 3D, because that's the final law. The final law is up here, and 3D is an after effect. So what you're responding to in your 3D is maybe a day, a week, a month ago that you thought those things and believed in those things, and now it's showing up, and then you're responding to it as if you just created it now, or if 3D just crapped on you and isn't giving you what you want. The 3D is neutral. The 3D is just mirroring and showing you what you have been doing up here. It's like you get a grade on a test and you get mad at the teacher because the test gave you that mark. Or do you get mad at yourself because you didn't study enough, or you didn't intake the information the way that you thought you did? We are throwing hatred onto the test because the test didn't give us what we wanted. When in reality, we decided up here by how much we studied and worked on the work that was supposed to go with the test, how the test result would look. You have to wrap your head around the fact that it's you against you. If you're seeing things in your 3D that you don't like, it was created by you. And then when you're getting mad at the 3D, you're fighting with yourself. You are looking at the 3D and cursing the 3D, but the 3D is only outpicturing what you have told it to outpicture. It's the old example that I gave. When you're watching a movie, throwing knives at the screen is not going to change the picture. You have to go to the projector and actually change what the projector is showing. The projector is this guy up here. The projector is this in here, your emotions. The projector is who you are choosing to be in every moment throughout the day. So when you are going through your reality, if you know you have had certain times in the day where things hit you harder because of places you visit, or old memories that you keep ruminating on, or certain behaviors like checking socials are spinning you out, stop doing them. Stop looking at those spots. Stop doing old behaviors that are going to re-trigger you into the same spiral, that is going to give you the same thoughts and emotions, that is going to place you back into the same reality over and over, so you feel like you're living Groundhog Day. What's the old saying that they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That's what so many of us are doing the same thing day in and day out, and then saying, T, I'm really trying. Why isn't anything changing? But you're not really trying. You're just regurgitating the same routine that you've done for the past 120 days and getting the same result, and then complaining about it. You're going on the camping trip, not bringing any supplies, and then complaining about how dehydrated and hungry you are. Y'all should check out this movie that might visually give you a little bit more indication of how things work. I don't agree with all parts of the movie, but it does give you more of a visual effect of how things work. It's called Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once. You can look it up. Put that into Google. It'll bring up it, even if the title's off a little bit. And it's a lady who is sick of her life and always wanting more. And then she starts realizing that she's in a multiverse where every version of her exists in all planes of reality, and she gets to visit those different versions of her. And I won't give away the movie, but it gives you a more in-depth look at how we are walking through our day. And it's basically saying every choice that you make has a spider web of options to choose from where you can go, like a choose your own adventure, which leads you to another outcome, which leads, and so on and so forth. This is how it works, guys. Every decision we make, every time we choose to place our focus somewhere, it leads us down a road that takes us to another road, that takes us to another road, and we are continuously picking our path and how it's going to look in our reality. But if we're always taking the same path to get to the same ending and getting mad at that ending and then rotating back to the beginning and taking the same path over again, how are we going to get different results? Take a few moments to observe yourself in your reality every day. Take moments in every frame of your reality to choose, who am I being in this moment? Am I being a chosen person who gets what they want? Or am I being a victim where the reality is crapping on me and SP is picking somebody else and my bank account is not blessing me and the 3D is crapping on me? What is that? That's a victim mindset. That's choosing a reality where you're a victim to everything. Or am I being the creator that I was meant to be? Am I deciding that doesn't work for me anymore? I'm picking this now. That Mary Jane at work, I've changed her name. That Mary Jane at work is only being nice to me now. She's only being kind to me. Honestly, play with your reality. When you choose different versions of people, different outcomes, different varieties of how things are going to look, your reality will shift and mold to your new chosen reality that you are declaring and decreeing. When you walk through with a new confidence that you can shift and change anything that you want, and you decide what's going to happen next, as opposed to hoping and praying that 3D gives you something that it can't actually give because it's an effect of your own thoughts and feelings, you will have a new sense of power that will magnify things to you, because you are now walking through as a creator as opposed to a victim, as opposed to giving your power away to other people. You are walking through knowing that you decide what the outcome is. You decide what happens at the end of the show. You decide what the end of your movie is. It's a new clarity and a new magnetism that cannot be taught. You have to decide and decree and declare and continually pick the realities that are working for you until your 3D mirrors back that whole new thought, emotional process that you've been doing. And then you start believing in how much power you have, and then your power amplifies. It's like when you get on the right radio station and you start turning up the volume. This is the way manifestation works for you. You believe more, you receive more, you do more things, you go to the next level and the next level until you walk through reality with a neutrality that is so insanely neutral, because you know that everything can be controlled and contained by you. But in order to do this, we have to start choosing differently. We have to start looking at things differently. We have to start picking the opposite of what we've been picking, per se, if our reality isn't showing us the things that we want. The definition of tea timers is that we change and grow every single day, and we get smarter every day. So we are going to keep choosing realities where things are going our way. You would be surprised if you start observing your reality, how many times a day you choose the outcome that you don't want to see manifest in your 3D. And how many times a day you believe more in what you don't have and the lack of that thing, as opposed to the abundance and the existence of the thing that you want. So start observing your reality, start choosing differently, start picking the path that you didn't pick yesterday, and you will see your 3D catch up. You will see a change right before your eyes. Mary Jane Sue, whatever I called her, in your work will be nice to you. Your bank account will start filling up, even if it's increments. Even if you receive $50 more today than you did yesterday, celebrate that. Your wealth is increasing every single day. Even if Mary Jo Sue doesn't curse you out the whole day and she just says your hair looks nice, celebrate that. Even if your SP sends you a Snapchat that means nothing to you, celebrate the no contact is now contact. Celebrate the small things, and the big things will show up for you. And of course, if y'all have questions, you know what to do. I love y'all, but not as much as y'all should be loving yourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Bye.